me pull up the story from the New York Post. Bud Light suffers staggering 17% sales plunge amid Dylan Mulvaney controversy. The latest sales data from Nielsen IQ and Bump Williams Consulting show that Bud Light sales fell 17% in dollars, while volume dropped a whopping 21%. Wow. Yo, this has got some feathers ruffled up.
That's huge.
YouTube started taking down videos, and this is what I said. My opinion on the matter, is that the sales decline was bad, and Anheuser-Busch got angry and went to YouTube and said, why are we advertising on your platform if it is loaded with people ragging on us? And so I think Bud Light was like, take these videos down. YouTube took down what they could. They didn't issue any strikes on channels. Why? That would cost them even more money. I think we're going to see that in the next report, it's going to be comparable in terms of sales decline, and then the sales decline will reduce. So let me explain. In the first week, when sales declined, it was like, I think 8% or something. Mm-hmm. So if they've got 100, let's just do a hypothetical number, 100 units of beer sold this week, drops by 8%. Now it's 92. Next week, it goes from 92 to, let's just say, 81. And they report the drop now is 10%, but it's still around the same amount of beers, a little bit more. What's going to happen is if they declined by 21 beers this past week, when the same number of beers decline, it's going to be actually, I think I got the math wrong. My point is, it's going to look like the decline is easing off because the boycott will reach a point that it's enough of the market share has been removed. Yeah. Mm-hmm. If 20% of people no longer buy beer, then Bud Light's market cap will drop by 20% and stay there. And once it stabilizes 20% lower, they will say the boycott's over, the decline in sales has ended, despite the fact what really happened is no one is coming back to buy their beer.
Yeah.
Right. And you know what? I will say, too, I actually am proud of the right wing for, sticking it to Anheuser-Busch and actually sending this message, because typically in the past, I feel like we get angry about things, but we're internet warriors and that's about it. So, seeing the pushback on this has been great. And I think it has sent a message to a lot of other corporations as well. And they're going to start being more careful about what they're advertising.
Yeah, so I actually did a cartoon about this a while ago called What the Media Thinks Right-Wingers Are versus What They Actually Are. And the joke we were basically making with it, feel free to check that out, Freedom Tunes. But the point we're making with the video is they paint conservatives out to be this highly motivated terror threat when conservatives can't even get people to boycott things. It's like, seriously. Yes, I'm going to give my life in a fiery blaze to commit an act of terror. And then it's like, hey, how about we don't eat the cupcake brand that just issued a commercial, which was just two dudes making out. It's like, but I like the cupcakes. And then we see with this, fortunately, my expectations being subverted and conservatives actually doing something.
I think part of it, same. I wonder if part of it is that so many people who identify as, their former marketing person said, as the fratty, humored, kind of regular guy felt not only isolated from this, but then attacked, right? You're saying, I am wrong for not supporting this. I think that is isolating its base in a way that doesn't make any sense. I think it's harder for conservatives to find a unifying product to boycott, right? Maybe they don't buy the cupcakes already. This was something that people who probably felt specifically attacked were like, I'm done.
See, I don't think that they felt attacked. I think that this is like the sports issue where men are like, we don't give a damn about this, to be quite honest. Stop trying to come in with the LGBTQ nonsense. I'm just trying to watch the NFL. I'm just trying to drink a beer. Why is this getting so out of hand?
Buying NFL tickets. They still go even though
because they like sports.
Right.
Yeah. Check this out. So for anyone who's claiming it's not true, Bud Light's competitors are going up. While Bud Light lost 6.7% of market share last week, Coors and Miller Lite are up 18%, according to the newsletter. A week earlier, Coors Light market share was up 10.6 over the same period. Miller Lite was up 11.5. I love to see it. Shout out to Jesse Kelly, because we mention this every time we bring the story up. He said it's the first time his neighbors asked him about politics, the Dylan Mulvaney thing. Mm-hmm. I think there might be something to it where you've got dudes who feel uncool to buy Bud Light at this point. And so let's break this down in terms of marketing terms. Let's pull out of politics. Mm-hmm. The sponsorship of Dylan Mulvaney created the perception that the beer was for young, effeminate men. So already you've got this trope where if you're drinking Bud Light, you're not manly. I don't know about you guys, but back in Chicago, if you went to a bar with your friends and ordered a Bud Light, they would laugh.
Yeah, I was gonna say I felt like
You
that
get punched in the
perception was
head.
already
You would
there,
get
but I
hit.
guess we.
But it would be
You
like
get punched in the head. They'd punch you in the back of the head because you ordered
they
a
would
Bud
be
Light.
like Bud Light was for when you're just trying to get drunk at a party, nobody cared. But if you were actually going to have a beer to hang out at the game, they'd be like, you bought Bud Light? Like, dude, get Modelo at least. I mean, it's another Anheuser-Busch beer, but get like a real beer. Get a Heineken or get Stella or something, but Bud Light? So now you've got dudes who are going to show up to the party and they'll be like, I don't want to. It's going to be embarrassing. They've basically made it embarrassing for men to drink beer with this marketing campaign.
I think it's funny too because the boys
To drink
always
Bud Light,
love
sorry.
banding together over stuff that they deem gay. Not saying, I think that this is great.
I'm
Good
saying
job, Dylan
it's
Mulvaney.
40-year-old men who don't want to look gay.
Yeah.
In the literal sense. They don't want to be viewed as weak or effeminate.
Yeah.
Like, look, I don't drink Bud Light or anything.
Well, they don't want to subtly signal they're like affiliated with this in any way, right?
And
like,
now-
if
and-
you offered someone who came to your home, like if you have a coworker you're inviting over, you don't know them well, and you're like, can I give you a Bud Light?
This is
no one wants to be like,
Like, listen, I don't swing
this
that
is
way.
the meme they've
Yeah.
created. This is the meme Bud Light created with sponsoring Dylan Mulvaney. Guys, like you are already seeing the left champion Bud Light and the right say Bud Light's bad. So what's going to happen is you are going to have people at pride parades cracking Bud Light. And it's a whirlpool for Anheuser-Busch. There is no escape for what you have done to your brand. The left will champion Bud Light. It will be the markings of gay pride parades, of pride nights, and conservatives and regular people are going to be like, I don't want to do all that. So they went from being a generic alcohol get drunk beer to a
Political.
leftist activist political brand that people aren't going to want to associate
yeah.
with.
I will say I don't drink beer really, but I hit a point where I was like, I have to know how to order. Like, I have to have a brand name to say when somebody says, "Do you want a beer?" And I pretty much always order Yinglings because I know they donated to Donald Trump's
Yep.
campaign. And I was like, good enough. Here we go. I'm not enough of an acquired taste to be able to scrutinize it. I don't know if it's good or bad beer. It's fine, and it does it immediately. Like, I know that I am supporting a cause that I'm at least pretty much okay with, right? Like, I wouldn't buy these beers because now it's affiliated with a whole conversation I don't want to be a part of.
Yeah, if I'm getting like a cheap light beer, then Yingling's my go-to for that exact reason.
But is Yingling really light? It's not really that light.
Well, to me it is.
Why? What do you like, Old English or like Guinness?
Well, you've
Double
accurately
IPA?
guessed. Yeah, I like.
Who drinks IPA?
Not. Hold on. You said Guinness. I'll have an IPA sometimes, but
Guinness is good
one that-
though. Guinness is
yeah,
something stout,
yeah.
I think.
I just want to see
I'm
this.
not a beer guy.
I just want this summer to be like the summer of the small brewery. Like, everyone's like, I can't buy Bud Light. Okay, I'm going to get that like one that's on the corner. Or, like, my friend's buddy
time.
bottles it.
I think I ordered while we were live, 600 cans of Conservative Dad's Ultra Right beer.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
Right.
That's what it's called. It's
You just
Ultra
Googled
Right.
Yeah, I do
conservative
remember
beer and
when
you're like,
we-
that's the one?
No, it's Seth Weathers. He put a
okay.
video on Twitter where he smashed a Bud Light with a baseball bat and said, "Stay the F away from our kids."
We
You should
had.
have just been like, this beer's filled with testosterone,
They're not serving
boys.
me the beer.
Buy up.
I remember. Yeah, I don't know who. Again, it was a stupid marketing campaign because
Remember
it's
what-
also not like you said because Bud Light went from a kind of meaningless name. I just want something cheap into like, this is, no one was like, yeah, that's my brand of beer. It's
Right.
like, I remember when.
That's why their sales are dropping. There's no loyalty to Bud Light.
Exactly. Well, exactly.
Okay, wait. I gotta interject. I gotta interject at this.
What?
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I feel like
Am
in
I being
hockey,
woman-interrupted?
You are. I'm sorry.
It's
I'm sorry.
unbelievable.
I'm using my privilege to speak over you. I feel like in hockey culture, Bud Light is a big thing, but also take a peek at who is pushing back against the Pride Nights right now. It's hockey players,
Yeah,
specifically. So Bud Light is big in hockey, but hockey is also the most outspoken against the LGBTQ nonsense.
Right. And a lot of places, like the hockey arena is just like a sports arena. They just put down the ice. That's how it is in Dallas. I think that is what I'm finding most interesting, because when they're saying the volume, like what people are ordering going down, it means that certain restaurants or like venues or whatever, no, they are not going to be able to sell the stuff, so they're not even going to order it.
Yeah.
And that's pretty crazy, but it makes sense, because why would you waste your money on it?
Well, and so I guess my point was just that I used to see it like, okay, you have the very, very low tier where you're dealing with like Rolling Rock and Keystone, and then slightly above that is sort of where Bud Light is, but now Bud Light's just below all of it for me. I'm never, ever drinking it again.
I mean, look, I wouldn't drink Bud Light. I just don't like. I'm not going to drink Coors Light or Miller Light or Miller or Budweiser. I've just always viewed them as like generic garbage beer.
Who do you think
and
you are?
I'm already seeing the videos on Instagram too, because I don't have TikTok, but I'll see like the TikToks that get posted on Instagram of men like doing blind beer taste tests, and they drink all of them and they guess them, and then when they get to Bud Light, they talk in this like really effeminate voice.
That's hilarious.
And they're getting like millions of likes.
Wow,
so,
really?
Yeah, it's really funny
They
because
destroyed their brand.
they really did. People are making fun of it all the time, and it's all these men like they drink a Bud Light and they immediately, and it's just it's hilarious,
Dude, and so the question is anyone going to want to sponsor Dylan Mulvaney after this? This is the algorithmic mistake. Dylan Mulvaney's popularity is completely rooted in a robot randomly choosing Dylan Mulvaney videos to show. The big brands then saying, this gets views, sponsor it, and now their brand is ruined.
I think they will, because there's a lot of brands like Nike, which conservatives were so mad at Dylan Mulvaney for having this,
I thought we were mad about Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah,
because we tried to boycott them once upon a time, and then we fell off the wagon.
We're supposed to be mad about, Nike enslaving children and then using the child labor to make, their products. But Dylan Mulvaney is why we're mad at Nike. It's like conservatives have the memory of a goldfish. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But anyways, the companies that are already all in on DEI and are already woke and know that their customer base is going to be more behind them because they're supporting a Dylan Mulvaney type who's been demonized by the evil right wing. I could see that happen.
I think instead of
but small brands.
No, of course not small
No,
brands.
well,
I'm saying small brands.
Wait,
no big brand is going to do it.
No, I think it's literally all going to be what you said, which is these brands that have carved themselves out in the market as a progressive option, and they're going to go, can you believe how people treated that poor Dylan, that sweet angelic soul? And they'll put him all over their branding, and then they'll be the ones who say Dylan when Bud Light turned their
people
back.
are saying to boycott Maybelline and Nike and all that stuff, and it doesn't work the same way.
Yeah.
Because women want to look like Dylan Mulvaney.
No.
That is not
Wait.
You're
If I was wrong, women would be boycotting all these products, but they're not.
No.
So hold on. So I'm going to make sure I tell all of these feminists who are defending Nike and Budweiser, I'm going to tell them, well, you know what? You do look a lot like Dylan Mulvaney, so it must be. Look,
and if they're insulted by that, that is on them.
That's my point.
Look, they're a transphobe.
I think part of it.
My point is this: they're not offended. They have a man. You see the ad campaign of the guy wearing a bra and panties?
No.
That was horrible.
It's a man wearing a bra, and it's a company's like they announced they're gonna make bras for males, and then all these women are like.
They're like,
men
yes,
don't need bras though.
Mm-hmm.
Like men don't need bras. Like they don't have boobs. But they're doing it anyway. Women overwhelmingly are more in favor of these political views and these things.
Yeah, because we're more emotional.
Well,
Absolutely.
yeah.
We're easily manipulated.
I also think
So it may be that conservative women don't want to look like Dylan Mulvaney, and it may be that privately these liberal men don't want to look like Dylan Mulvaney, but they clearly really do resonate and support Dylan. So I think it's a compliment to tell them they do look like Dylan Mulvaney. Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.